Hello, guys. Hello, guys, and welcome to the yet another meetup of Pioneer Gujarat. Today we have Vijay with us, and he is a specialist in data visualization, and he'll be sharing his thoughts how we can relate data visualization with storytelling. And it would be an interesting talk to learn more about data science as a field, which is very vast in itself. And also, before we start, I would like to thank our community partner, Merge Intern, for helping us throughout this meetups and helping and supporting us on every way. So I'll be linking about them in the description box below. You can check them out. And welcome Vijay to the meetup. And thank you so much for spending
Yeah,
your weekend with us and sharing with the community.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Manpreet. Thanks a lot, Pi and AI Gujarat. Thanks for inviting me. And also, I would like to thank your partner, Merge Intern, who have been your support. So, yeah, it's a weekend. It's a Saturday, but I can't deny the fact that it's an Pi and AI event, and it's a huge opportunity for anybody. Because I've been part of Pi and AI in Munich along with Crunch, so I know how important it is. So that's the reason why I couldn't deny this request from you guys. And also a big thanks to Akshaya from
Okay.
your end. He has been
Yeah.
there right from preparing content, posters, and the
Yeah.
event invites and everything. So let's wait for
Yeah.
a couple of minutes just for people to jump in. I mean, like I guess people are watching it
Yeah.
in live on YouTube. Maybe you can parallelly log on to YouTube on your mobile device or something, so that just to see whether people are
Yeah.
getting up nicely there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
So, so before we start your session, I have some questions for you. Could you introduce yourself more to the
mhm.
audience and tell more about you? Who is Vijay? What does
Yeah,
he do? How did he
yeah,
become a TEDx speaker and 40 under 40 Data Science India
for sure,
awardee? Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so Vijay from southern parts of India. I come from Tirunelveli, which is a place in Tamil Nadu in India. So I did my bachelor's in a city called Erode. It's from Congo Engineering College. So after doing my bachelor's, I straight away went to Germany. I came to Germany to pursue my master's. So I did my master's in electrical engineering. So the profession that I am in currently and what I have studied is not at all relevant, but that is also what I wanted to share in this video as well a bit. So I did electrical engineering, but I'm working as a data professional in Germany right now. So for guys who are from non-IT background or non-data science background, for sure you can be one data professional in the future if you have your goals and vision properly. So set your goals and keep working on it. And regarding my TEDx journey, that's a completely different genre of my life. So I like public speaking. I love taking webinars and giving back to the society. I call it. So I believe that the more you can give back to the society, the better the students will be in the future. So it's always fun interacting with students. So I get this opportunity once in a while where I get a chance to interact with students in the form of webinars or technical sessions or conference. So I take up every other opportunity that comes in my way, and I try to give back as much as I can. So yeah,
So, like,
currently
do you
so currently
yeah.
I work for Siemens Mobility as a data analytics expert, and I am also eyeing having an eye on entrepreneurship as well. That's going on in parallel. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think public speaking and taking webinars in a way has helped you shape your career in the field of data science, or in a way it has impacted you, or if a
Hmm.
junior or beginner is coming, would you
Hmm.
suggest him to share his knowledge with the society, or how does it makes an effect in overall your
Hmm.
personality and your career?
Hmm. So yeah, for sure it has helped me shaping up a bit. So let's say if I sit in front of computer and I simply log on each day and work for 8 hours a day, ultimately I don't gain that much of knowledge. Rather than I mean, spending a lot of time with students helps a lot to improve myself. So let's say I cannot be in a position to answer all your questions, let's say, or answer all the questions from students or working professionals. So I go back to the drawing board, sit an hour. I just research about it. I just learn new things. So in a way, it helps me shape up my career. It helps me learn more things that are not uh, something known to me. So I need to dig in deeper in certain topics. So that's the reason also I tend to do a lot of webinars. So by doing so, I get an opportunity to interact with students or working professionals, and I get a lot of questions which sometimes can be really, really tricky. So in order to answer them, you need to explore a lot, and yeah, that helps for sure. Hmm.
So, like, do you advise like the students or the people to share knowledge? Like, sometimes people feel offended that if they share it, the other person would become more good in the field or something. Sometimes people might have that feeling ki,
Hmm.
if I say him something, he'll become more good in this field than me if I share it.
Okay. It doesn't really matter. I would say anybody who wants to improve your interpersonal skills or improve your personality, just go out there and express yourself. I mean, for sure there will be a lot of criticism at the beginning. So for sure there will be a lot of people who will be saying, "Hey, come on, he's very young. He's just a junior. What does he gonna say to this world?" But you never know what sort of information will be helpful for people who are out there. So in my opinion, it's good to start sharing. So as I said, the more you share, the better you will be, firstly, and then you will also get a lot of responses and criticism. Constructive criticism is always really good, and you can also work on your like, let's say areas where you need to focus more. So you explore more about yourself. So that's also one valid point. So I guess Manpreet has lost connection or something. Maybe in the meantime, I'll just start the topic until she joins back, or maybe we lose out on this opportunity to interact about data visualization. So data visualization is not a 100% fit topic that has to be in this Pi&A sessions, but nevertheless, I just wanted to share the important aspect of data science visualization. So it is also not a domain or a stream that can be neglected. Maybe we can jump into these and we'll have a look at it. So are we online, or just give me a second so that we can be sure that what I'm speaking is online. rather than speaking myself and nobody is watching there. Okay. So I guess there is some problem with Manpreet, but yeah, nevertheless, as I said, let's just deep dive into this topic because it's a Pi and AI event and it's something huge. I mean, Pi and AI, just an introduction to Pi and AI. I guess Manpreet has forgotten to run an introduction video to Pi and AI. Maybe when she joins back, we'll
Yeah,
request
yeah,
her.
sorry, I guess.
No worries.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, there's some network glitch that had happened. And
okay.
yeah, so we have a question for you.
Mm,
Like the first question before we start our
uh,
session,
yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
what is about database that you like it so much?
Okay. So database, I mean, any data product or any uh, artificial intelligence or any product that uses data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, you have to give it a shape, right? Ultimately, you need to project it to the external world. You need to present it to the customers or clients. So you need a proper shape. So like how we shape up our career, like how we shape up ourselves, a data product or any product also needs a good shape. So data visualization is uh, can give that shape. So for sure you can design a beautiful product, but you mess up with the visualization and ultimately you lose out on an opportunity. So that is for sure not something that people will like. So that's why I like it so much, and it's not like uh, I like it so much, and that's the reason why I talk about it. It's there is a lot about data visualization where people don't talk about much. So that's why I'm here today. So just to interact with you guys, what is what. I'll be able to transfer my knowledge to you, but there is a lot out there. Yeah.
So
And
yeah, you can
Manpreet,
go ahead. Yeah,
Manpreet, I would request you to play that Pi and AI video if you have that, because at the
yeah,
start of Pi and AI session, you should be
yeah.
doing that. Yeah.
But it's like from last time, it's some glitch happening. The audience cannot hear the sound of it.
Uh-huh. Okay. 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 It's okay. Maybe you
Uh,
can look at it in parallel while I start talking. Maybe you can
yeah,
just look around. Otherwise, we'll go
yeah,
ahead. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do the screen sharing thing. Maybe you can make my video bigger. So do you see the screen with the slides?
Yeah. Uh,
Is my slides visible to you?
yeah, yeah.
You see my slides, right?
I've added them to the.
Screen. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, just a second. So mhm. So you have added the slide screen, right? Okay, perfect. So data storytelling. So that's the topic for today. And once again, I would like to thank you guys for the opportunity. But I guess there is some network issues with Manpreet again. Um, I guess she'll have to. Hello, am
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
audible?
can. Yeah, yeah. You're audible. I just
Okay,
was finding out the video.
okay, perfect. Okay, maybe you can. I mean, check out my video so that it gives you more bandwidth. You can remove my video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Otherwise, we could
Okay.
lose out on the
Uh,
internet connection again. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I
Yeah,
guess
no worries.
I'll share this pioneer video. I'll share this pioneer video, and then we can go ahead with your session.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Ah, you are muted. You are muted. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead with the session now.
Okay, perfect. So I'll do that. So yeah, I mean, you can make the screen bigger.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I mean, since we lost some time in between, maybe I'll
Uh,
just not rushing into the topic.
yeah, I just made a screen, and now it's a session. I'll be at the back listening. Yeah, you can go ahead with the session.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Okay. So the screen is there, right? I mean, the screen, you can see the slides, right? Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so data storytelling, I mean, data visualization and data storytelling is also equally important in the field of data science, where people don't talk about it much. So first, let's see a little bit about stories. I mean, stories can be really powerful, and some stories can be memorable and funny. Some of it can be emotional and captivating. So a lot of people read books here, a lot of people watch movies, a lot of people watch Netflix and other things here. So uh, I would I would suggest there is this. connect. I mean, I would say that there is always this connect between people and the stories. So since we come from India, we grew up watching a lot of stories of late. So we tend to revisit our childhood, where we have heard a lot of stories from our grandparents, grandmother, or let's say um, from our parents. So stories can create a great impact in our lives. So for sure, it helps us bridge the gap between, let's say, the things that we wanted to connect in life. So let's have a look at data. But data is completely to a different extreme. So let's say some of the data can be completely dry. Some of the data can be boring. For some, it can be nerdy. Let's say if there is a sale going on in a Nike or Adidas, would you be interested in knowing the numbers of the annual sales or revenue of Nike or Adidas? For sure not. I mean, being an outsider, being someone who just wants a particular shoe, we just go to the stores and we just grab a pair of shoes. But we'll not be interested in what are their sales revenue, what are their perspectives. I mean the most community. So for sure, there are people who still look at it, but I believe that it's not the case all the time. And it can be vague, as I said, for someone, for people who are new to this. I mean, new to this um, data field, it can be vague, it can be unclear. So for these people, how do we then connect data and stories? So I would say first you need to understand the context of it. So a better understanding of the domain knowledge is required. So let's say I myself I am from mobility, where we deal with data from trains, locomotives, and high-speed trains, and etc. And somebody else will be working on financial data, or there will be people working with pharmaceutical data. So the important thing is to understand the context, and then you need to think about choosing an effective visual. So visual, I mean, there are plenty. So there are plenty out there. So let's say bar graph, scatter plot, line graph, pie chart. So there are many. So you need to understand who your audience are, and at the same time, you need to see what I'm gonna deliver to the people. So it's not like you know the visualization the best, and you always should project with that visualization. So it's never the case. So you should select a proper visualization that fits into the context and that fits into the business case. And for sure, you need to eliminate the clutter, and you need to see what are the things that are irrelevant, and thereby you should create a focus. So you should create an attention to the audience or whoever watching to it, and thereby you tell a story out of it. So this is what Nathan Yao is a famous statistician and data viz expert from Flowing Data. So he said, learn data and you can tell stories that more people don't even know about it, but are eager to hear. So that is definitely true. I mean, in industries, I have been in industries for close to 7 years now, but I see a lot of people who want to hear more, who want to do a lot more, but they fail to do it. So that's why you need to learn data and you can tell stories that more people don't even know about yet. So, is there any questions? I mean, if there are any questions, Manpreet, you can always interrupt me and just play the ticker around where I can answer questions from the other end.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely keep asking if anything comes up.
Yeah. So let's look at an example where data visualization plays a major role in one of the industries. So I'm sure that you guys are aware of this Spotify, which is nothing but a music streaming app. So this Spotify, what they do at the end of every year, so they do a wrap up. So they say they do a wrap of 2018 or 2019 or let's say 2020. So here you can see who are the top artists, what are the top songs that you can listen to, what are the top genre you listen to, how many minutes that you have listened to in total. So that tells you a story, how well you have used Spotify or what's the inference that you can take out of it. So in a way that it creates sort of an interest among the audience. So by the end of the year, everybody gets it to their mailbox, and some people go crazy. I mean, they just click on it and they will quickly jump into the Spotify app. So it brings traction first of all, and at the same time, for sure it um, I mean like makes some sort of revenue for them as well. So all of a sudden, people jump into Spotify to listen to some content, and they listen to some interesting songs or whatever. But ultimately, it's beneficial for that particular app. So this is what companies do to create a flurry of traffic at the end of every year. So Uber also does the same. So what they'll tell you is the number of days since you joined, miles travel or the kilometers travel in this year, and what's the rating that you have given to a driver, or let's say the driver has given to you. So these are things that uh, the trending apps they do nowadays. So let's say Uber or um, Ola, they does these sorts of data stories as a wrap up at the end of every year. And even Google does this. So that's the beauty of it. So no matter what the domain is, so as I said, first the music streaming app, which is I mean entertainment industry, and then we had a look at Uber, that's mobility, and now we are looking at Google, which is internet. So that's the beauty of it. So everybody uses data, everybody explores insights of data, and people always wants to create beautiful stories out of it. So let's look at this example. I mean, you can see what's trending in 2019. This particular insights from Google. So India versus South Africa. So I guess it's because of the World Cup that happened in England in 2019, and for sure there was a lot of traffic for Cameroon boys. Copa America happened last year, and even people searched about Bangladesh versus India. I'm pleasantly surprised that there is no top searches for Pakistan versus India, but yeah, and there was also a lot of searches on iPhone 11, which released in 2019. It's the same in the news. I mean, Cricket World Cup, Notre Dame was a tragedy, and a lot of people spoke about it, and huge amount of funding came across the globe. And there was this Hurricane Dorian and this Rugby World Cup that happened as well. And regarding people, we can say that a lot of people surfed about Neymar, James Charles, Jesse Smollett, Kevin Hart, and Antonio Brown. But overall, you can get a clear picture of what has happened in the last year. So let's say if you can summarize this particular data story, you can clearly say that a lot of traffic was because of Cricket World Cup and a little bit of rugby, and of course a tragic event in the name of Notre Dame in Paris. And for sure, people go crazy about the new iPhones every year, so that's common. So visualization, data science, and narration. So, how important these three factors are in this field? So, I would say all three stuffs are equally important. So, let's say data science. I mean, if you do data science, for sure, I mean, you do explore a lot of insights from the data, and visualization is a way where you prepare charts and you can convey the insights that you have generated. And narration is something that you gain by practice. So let's say if you have the proper visualization for data science, then you can narrate a story, a proper story. So that you can always do. So as people say, narration is a key vehicle to convey insights, with visualizations and data being important proof points. So, what are the three key aspects that we have just saw? But in my opinion, I call it a triple E factor: explain, enlighten, and engage. So, if you have a proper data and a good narration, it means that you can explain the data to anybody out there. And if you have the data and proper visuals in the sense, as you said, you can have a pie chart, you can have a line graph, bar graph, or scatter plot, or anything. So it enlightens you. It enlightens. Okay, what can be done? What can we do for the marketing or sales in the coming days? So it gives you a certain insight. And if you have a proper narration and visuals, then you can engage with the audience. So let's say you have the visuals up front on a monitor or a PC, you can start narrating it, and you can engage with the audience. You can ask questions, you can interact with them. So that is why I call it a triple E factor: explain, engage, and enlighten. So that's it from my side when it comes to data visualization. So it is not a lengthy presentation, as I said at the beginning, but nevertheless, I mean, like, I'm up to any questions or things that can be interacted. So I just want it to be an interactive session. So because data visualization, as you said at the beginning, it cannot be a full out and out topic that is relevant to Pi and AI even. But nevertheless, we had a good amount of introduction into database.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I wanted to ask you, like, have you made or done a project like where data visualization had completely changed the business
Mhm.
point of view, or where you could get something and your customers or clients were very happy out
Mhm.
of it? So, how that works
Mhm.
in industry in real life? How you deal
Yeah.
with that? How you tell your
Mhm.
stories through data to your
Mhm.
clients or customers?
Mhm. So for sure, stories and data storytelling has changed the way the project has been in the industries. So let's say we had a customer in Europe where for whom we had a close interaction with their workers who work on field. So for them, we created a dashboard where they can interact from where they are. So we gave insights on uh, what's the prediction for the failure of rail components, and what could be the chances of components that are running short. So let's say inventory management or supply chain management. So we can explore a lot with data. So these customers with that dashboard or with that particular data story, they were super impressed, and we got a really good outcome of that project. So for sure, it can
Okay.
bring wonders.
So we have next question for you is, which is your favorite
Mhm.
visualization tool and why?
Okay. So Ayush, thanks for the question. So my favorite visualization tool is has to be Tableau. So Tableau is one of the really good tools out there, but doesn't mean that Spotfire or similar tools like Spotfire or Power BI or anyway lower to the standards of Tableau. So it's up to you to explore the tools. But in my opinion, Tableau is overly priced. But you can also explore Spotfire or Power BI. That's up to you.
So,
Yeah.
as you mentioned in your PPT about the Spotify wrapper thing, they suggest
Hmm.
us creates a visualization.
Yeah.
When you, as a
Like.
user, what is an interesting visualization that made you realize, oh, this is something very creative that has made my interaction or made me interested in that thing? You, as a user, that
Mhm.
visualization was like your point of interaction or something.
Yeah. So for instance, we developed a cockpit. We developed a cockpit for the train drivers where they can click on a KPI chart and they can get a greater insight and again interact with that, which will give another insight. So it was like uh, from one point to another. So it created a lot of curiosity and a lot of people liked it. So I believe that it can be done in many ways. I mean, it's not just about creating a cockpit or a KPI chart where you can click and dig into it. So the point is to have it as interactive as much so that the customer is more into it. So the more the customers use it, they'll ask more questions. So the more you get questions, the better your answer will be. So that's the point.
So we have a question is what difference data
Hmm.
visualization if you are a data analytics or a data
Hmm.
scientist?
So in my opinion, data scientist is someone who plays around with algorithms. So let's say they play around with random forest, decision trees, or regression models. They take the data, they cleanse it, they do all the data cleaning beforehand, and they get into it. They build models using it. So it's more coding stuff. But data visualization is something where for sure you need a bit of coding, but it isn't about 100% coding. So you can play around, you can use graphs, plots, charts to convey stuff. So whatever the data scientist has built, you can use it to visualize. So you can give it a proper shape. So that is what data visualization is. And data analytics is something where you tend to be like you grab the data, you know what data to use, you just cleanse the data and hand it over to data scientist. So I would say data analyst, data scientist, and data visualization guys are the three pillars of any industry.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the next is a compliment that you get for Tableau is awesome. I
Ah, good.
refuse to use anything else.
Thanks a lot,
Um,
Joby Hara. Yeah, Tableau is awesome. I agree that. Yeah.
yeah, now we have a community version also for the Tableau after the 15-day trial also. Like,
Ah,
uh,
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because of this pandemic, yeah, even Tableau offered an extended free version for students, particularly students. So a lot of
yeah.
students can make use of it. Yeah.
So the next question we have
Mhm.
is for data analytics, how much SQL in any programming language like Python R is important in comparison to data visualization tools?
So for data analytics, it depends on the industry. So if you are into a startup, it varies. But if you are into a bigger firm like myself in Siemens or BMW, for sure you need to have a really good knowledge of SQL and languages like Python and R. But in general, bigger companies like Siemens or BMW or Audi, these companies they have different sectors. Data analyst is one section, data scientists, data engineers will be there, and data visualization experts will be there. So you you don't do a lot of coding there, but in smaller companies, let's say in a startup, for sure you will be the one person who does everything. So you should be doing the SQL, you should be grabbing the data from the database, and you will be building models with Python. And at the end, you will be building visualizations with either Google Studio or Power BI or Spotfire, whichever that is available.
Okay, so like as a beginner, if someone
Mhm.
is entering into the field of data science, how important it is to build the projects around data visualization, or should he classify things in initial stages? No, I want to go into data visualization, or
Mhm.
I want to be into computer vision or NLP, or he should
Okay.
explore every
Again,
field.
okay. I guess we again lost you in between. Maybe come again.
Now you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm asking, as a beginner, how one should build his projects
Mhm.
around data visualization, or should he
Mhm.
explore every field of data science? Like there's
Mhm.
SQL, there's computer
Mhm.
vision, there's industry, there's research papers,
Mhm.
or should he from beginning focus on no, I want to go into data visualization only
Mhm.
and stuff.
No, I would say any beginner jumping into this field, just grab some knowledge on SQL. Just try to uh, get the point where how you grab the data from the database and how you play around it, how you merge tables, how you ignore columns from the databases, from the uh, let's say the parent data. And for sure you need to learn Python. So Python is like a heart of data science. So you cannot simply neglect that. And what else? So data visualization, as I said, Tableau, Spotfire, and Power BI are important things. But for sure, you need the domain knowledge. So let's say, as I said, I am from mobility, so I work with train data. Somebody else can work with pharmaceutical data. Somebody else can work with finance or e-commerce data. So you need that technical domain expertise with you in order to gain traffic or to gain the momentum. And then building visualizations or jumping into visualization is a lot easier. So for a beginner, just start slowly, one step at a time, and just explore one by one. So don't directly jump into visualization at the beginning.
Uh, and if it's like someone who is into going into the field of data science, how does he, if he wants to become a data scientist, does it something like that data analyst or something is an entry point into the field of
Hmm.
data scientist? So how
Yeah,
does that work?
yeah. So for a beginner, for a student, I would suggest him to pick up any internships. I mean, internships are many out there. Even if he finds an unpaid internship, it is okay. Just go out there, grab that opportunity, and explore it. And for finance people, for people with finance background, it's good to enter into this field by taking up business analyst roles. So business analysts also closely work with data science people. So you can also do that. And for others, it's good to start as a data analyst. Just see what people do with data. You should all you should do is grab some data from SQL, play around with it, and give it to data scientist. You can learn from them. You can start learning what they'll do. So that's a good point to start.
So if
Mhm.
you were not into data visualization in the field of data science, what would be a field that you would choose except that you were not doing it,
Okay.
this thing?
Probably I would be an entrepreneur who is more into public speaking, and I'm looking to create jobs in the future. So you can expect some big news coming up from my end in the coming days. So yeah.
And I wanted to know that how, there's the field of AI is emerging continuously every day with lots of
Mhm.
applications coming in the field of finance, in the field of
Mhm.
medicine, to travel, everything. So, how important it is to keep up with the current happenings and keep yourself
Mhm.
updated, or like, what is
Mhm.
your view on this?
I would suggest, I mean, the applications are plenty, and since more and more automations are happening, people are trying to automate any number of tools that are available out there. So the opportunities will be more, but currently the COVID situation is stopping, is holding a bit. But nevertheless, once we come across this COVID situation, I am sure that there will be a lot of opportunities for a lot of people out there. So ramp up your coding skills and prepare yourself for the wind that is gonna flow, and then for sure you will get a good opportunity.
So, as you said that after your BTech, you went to Germany for masters. So,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I don't know, but there would be some rejections also you might have faced during your
Mm-hmm.
journey. So, how did you face that? How did you work on it?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you made yourself like that? You're now working at Siemens
Mm-hmm.
from such a long time. So, how was that rejection helpful,
Mm-hmm.
or what did you help do as a beginner, as a person to improve your skills and
Mm-hmm.
codings and all?
Yeah. So I mean, having noticed a person like Dhoni or Rahul Dravid in close quarters, I'm a big fan of famous Dhoni of Indian cricket. So everybody knows what's his score in his first game. So he scored a duck. So he didn't score anything on the first game. So failures are a part and parcel of life. So that I understand clearly. So there is no point in holding back. So you should keep on applying multiple universities if there is any. So that's what I did. I of course got rejected in a couple of universities, but that didn't stop me from coming to Germany. And the same way, I applied for plenty of jobs. I got rejected at the beginning. And now I'm sitting with Siemens, comfortable in a comfortable position, and I'm also having an eye on entrepreneurship. So life throws a lot of options to you. It's up to you to pick uh, valid options or pick options that you like rather than being worried about options that you missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was like wonderful having you. Do you recommend some course like? I'm sure beginners would ask you sometimes, or people would ask you, what courses should you recommend me to do for
Mm-hmm.
data visualization, data science? Who should I follow? What blog post should
Mm-hmm.
I read? So, what are your thoughts on that?
For courses, I would recommend people to have a look at three platforms. One is Linda, one is Udemy, and one is Coursera. So just jump into these platforms, pick up a couple of data courses. Everybody is different, so everybody is unique. Every mentor is unique. Every teacher is unique. So just listen to the couple of minutes on each of these courses on all these platforms and finalize one or two courses and then check the remaining. So that's the way to go. So rather than just directly jumping onto a course, because the courses and the contents they keep evolving, they keep changing. So you cannot rate any course as a best one or the worst one. I would suggest to have a look at multiple courses and listen to them for final first few minutes and then finalize it according to your taste.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it's like if a beginner wants to build their project, so how did they choose? Like in courses, we do have projects, but like they're like not enough to talk about in the market when you're going for the job. Is like people will say these are the courses that you or the projects that you have done. What is else that you have done? So how does one build his profile around doing
Hmm.
projects? How does one choose a project to make his
Hmm.
profile? Yeah.
Building profile is also equally important in your career. So it's good to have a solid CV, a really good LinkedIn profile, and a GitHub repository. So choosing project is not up to us in all the cases. So some people have luck, some people don't have, so they cannot choose what they need. So look out for opportunities, grab it, do it, and then structureize your profile. So it's not like I will do only finance, I'll do only sales, I'll only do marketing. So just be open for all the opportunities, grab it, and perform it well.
Okay. So there's one question. Can you talk about your initial projects that
Hmm.
you built while starting out your
Yeah,
journey in data analytics?
yeah, Shubham. So I was with the telecommunications. So what we did is we built we tracked the emotional intelligence of all our competitors. So that was one thing, and we did this word cloud with them, what people are talking about when it comes to telecommunications in Germany, and we built a chatbot for our internal usage. That is one thing, and we also built a model where we predict the customer who will buy the next SIM card with us. So these are the projects that were in my initial days, and it was fruitful.
Uh, so, before going, is there something you want to give the summary of a talk, or you want to
Mm-hmm.
give the takeaways for the viewers or the
Mm-hmm.
people watching, the students?
I would suggest people to never stop, never bog down. So just keep going. You will find the path. You will find uh, your way. So just keep going, and wish you all the very best. So for sure, data science is a really interesting field. So just grab all the opportunities that comes in your way and do your best. Thanks, Ravit. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much for spending your weekend with our
Yeah.
community and enlightening us with your views, your journey. And it was so awesome having you on this talk or meetup. So, thank you
Yeah.
so much. And thank you so much for joining us live today on a Saturday evening in India. So, uh, you can follow him on LinkedIn as he's out of connections currently. Yeah, but you can follow him for all the updates and see you all next time. So, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Take care.